So, college football season is finally here. This is my favorite time of the year. But if you are a new fan and you are headed to go watch a game with somebody who is a tried and true fan like me, here are three things that you need to know about this college football season that might be a little different from years past. Okay, first things first, conference alignments. Pretty much everybody who was in a conference is no longer in that same conference this year. There's the Big Ten that has 18 teams, the ACC has 17 teams, the SEC has 16 teams, but so does the Big 12, and there is no longer a Pac-12. Yeah, that's pretty much it in a nutshell. And speaking of conference realignments, with all of these teams like moving all over the country and realigning themselves with other conferences, it doesn't necessarily mean that rivalries have changed. So you still have your traditional rivalries, right? Like Alabama versus, well, everybody. Georgia versus, well, yeah, kind of everybody. Ohio State and Michigan, Texas, and A&M and Oklahoma, and just depending upon the day, maybe somebody else. But anyways, just note those rivalries do still exist. Another thing, this is going to be the year that the college football playoff expands to 12 teams. It's going to be the debut season of this. So for this year, the top four, the power conferences, that's the SEC, the Big 12, the Big 10, and who did I forget again? Oh yeah, the ACC. Why do I always forget that? Anyways, so all four of those, the winners of those conferences will have an automatic bid, right? There are five, though, conferences that will have the automatic bid, so that means there's one spot left for a non-Power 5 conference. Those are your conferences like your Mountain West, your Sun Belt, Conference USA. Yeah, one spot left for the overall winner of that, right? So that means there are 7 spots left that are in at-large bid. Those go to the rest of the top 12 teams across the country, right? So the AP will still be ranking teams, and so will the college football playoffs, just like they've done in years past. You remember, they always rank teams far down the list, all the way down to 25. So here's where things get really interesting, though. There's not a cap on how many teams can come out of each individual conference. So do not be surprised if the SEC all of a sudden comes out with a whole lot of people in that college football playoff. Also, don't be surprised about the Big Ten, or I guess the ACC or the Big 12 either, because I'm like, just about everybody's in those conferences. Anyways. Also, the top 4 teams, those automatic bids from those power conferences, they actually get a bye week the first week. And again, this is going to be a really cool part. So that means that the teams that come in ranked 5 through 8 for the college football playoff actually get to host a bowl game on their college campus, because they will actually be playing the first round of games at the college, at the respective schools. Unlike years past where, obviously, like they were always at a neutral site for one of the bowl games. They still will be having the bowl games for the later rounds of the college football playoff, and those will be neutral site games. So there's a lot more to break down as well, but this is just a little bit of the rule changes or changes going into this season. Like and follow for part 2, where I have even more of a breakdown on this upcoming college football season.